Right, okay, so this is your do now task. Looking at the assess prep task, some people will still a little bit confused how to set these questions out. So let's do this one. So you've got a vet has 100 clients, and you've got dogs, cats, and tropical fish. So I'm going to have dogs, cats, tropical fish. So there's 100 in total, so my whole diagram should add up to 100. So we go through it. 25 own dogs, 15 own dogs and cats, 11 own dogs and tropical fish, 53 own cats, 10 own cats and tropical fish, 7 own dogs. So 7 goes in the middle because they own all 3. 40 own tropical fish, right? So the next thing we're going to do then is look at the double ones. So it says that 10 own cats and tropical fish. So because there's already 3 in that circle, it's 7. I'm going to put 3 here because that should add to 10. Right, the next one says 11 own dogs and tropical fish. So again, there's already 7 there, so that should be a 4. Then it says 15 own dogs and cats. There's already 7 there. So that means 8 is going to go in here. Just excuse me, I'm a little bit sick. Right, and then now we've got the ones where it's the whole diagram. So if we start with dogs, if you add 7, 8 and 4 together, we get 19. But there's 25, so that means there's going to be 6 there. The 53 own cats. So if 18 is already in the circle, that means 35 is left. And then tropical fish is 40. In the circle, there's already 14. So that means 26. Then you should add the whole diagram up and see what that adds up to, because we should have 100. So we've got 25 dogs, and then we've got plus 35, plus 3, plus 26. So that only equals 89. So that means there's 11 on the outside. Then we got some questions. Okay, so probability that we own dogs only. So that is going to be 6 out of 100. Always simplify your fractions. Probability that they don't own a tropical fish. So we know that there's 40 tropical fish. So that means there's going to be 60. That don't own a tropical fish. And then the last one, they don't own a dog, cat, or a tropical fish. Well, that's just 11 out of 100. Right, then we're going to move on to some conditional now. So with the word given, okay, what does that mean? So this question says, given that a random chosen person owns a cat, what's the probability that they own a dog? So what that means is now you're only looking at the circle for the cats. Okay, so we already know from the question before that there's 53 cats. So that means for this question, it's out of 53. Okay, so then you say, well, how many of them actually own a dog? Well, in this case, you've got this section here. So it's 15 out of 53. This word given is very important because we're going to look at that symbol today, because we already have looked at notation. And that's where this comes into things we already know: universal set, intersection, a complement, a union, and probability. So here, all these things we know anyway. We've looked at them last lesson. This is the new one. So instead of using the word given, they will use this line here. So just be aware of that. In the formula booklet, you are given some rules. So things like A union B. How do you work that out? We can just add the probability of A, the probability of B together, and then subtract the probability of A or B. This will make sense when you start looking at problems that don't give you Venn diagrams. They just give you the actual probability. Mutually exclusive events mean that they don't have anything in common. And then the complement rule, well, you just subtract from one probability of the event happening. Right, and just some more things to remind you of the shaded region. Right, this was the first question I would like us to have a little look at. We're going to have a look at answering questions now using notation. So this one is out of talking about football and basketball, and there's 40 in total. What's the probability that they play football? Well, it's the 12 and the 8 together. So that is 20 out of 40. So it's a half. What's the probability that they play football and basketball? Well, it's only 8 out of 40, which is 8 out of 40 is 1 out of 5. Football or basketball, so that means all three are going to be taken into account. So not only the 20, you're going to have to add that 14, so that is 34 over 40. 17 over 20. And then the last one is given. So what's the probability if we chose someone that they play football given that they play basketball? So given is this. So 14 and 8, that means your fraction's only out of 22 and only 8 of them will play football too. Okay, so that's what we're going to have a little look at today. I think for this video I'm going to stop there. You can go to Assess Prep now. This PowerPoint, there's a couple of examples you can look at. But go to Assess Prep and have a go at that task.